Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Christy, and here is another video. I'm trying to get more consistent, and it's just, it's it's odd. Let's see. It's the second part of the year, and we're going to try to figure this thing out. So today, I am going to do a review, a 6-month review of how my planner system planner ecosystem, whatever lineup has gone for me. We'll do some deep dives in both of the just Scribbles plans, and then talk about them. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so here I wanted to start with these smaller ones here. I have two Hobonichis. These are they've been in the lineup since the very beginning of the year, and they have maintained and served their purpose. Um, the Hobonichi here I have is for finance, and it's basically a place where I document all my bills, what's getting paid, what needs to get paid, dates, and everything. No stickers, just some tabs to know where I'm at. So we can get past that one really fast. This is my health tracker, and it's not only my health tracker; it's tracker that I track other people that live in this house, medical issues. So so far, I have I have decorated everything. I have covered date headers here, and then weight tracking here, and I decorated. I was tracking my steps on the dailies because that's what I thought to do, because I wasn't doing it in the first part where the year overview, and then I'll write out appointments. Now this fell off. I do have ways to track this, and I will go back eventually and track the days in here, but mostly it's been appointments and things like that, keeping track of all the doctor's appointments. This is working out, and I figured this would work out and stick and stay, because I had one for the last 2 years. I did Hobonichi Weeks for health and wellness for the last 2 years. So I didn't anticipate this one falling off, but things happen. It went smoothly. Weekly, I would keep track of my meals, what I was eating, because I am still watching my weight. I'm trying to lose weight. Any to dos, the weather, and then sometimes this would flex in and out. Gratitude, it went from highs and lows, highlights to various things. I would tracking that fourth column. I was keeping up with my mood, habits, if I was doing the things that's supposed to keep me healthy, and any notes that I need to remember about that particular week. Sometimes I change the setup to look different, but it basically serves its purpose every week. Now, this is the last week in December, and here we are at the beginning of January. And basically, I kept that rhythm pretty much the whole entire year. Now, I know as time went on, uh, I might have failed to decorate because life gets busy, right? So, um, I think, yeah, here we go. Started to get a little sparse, but I still wrote down the important stuff and the weather. I didn't do any like notes or additional information. Here's another week that was kind of light, but and that's okay, because you're not there's no wins or losses with if you didn't track or something. Here's a prime example. There was no writing. I mean, there was no decorating, and this is actually the week I was in California, so I wasn't doing any wellness tracking there. Anything I did with steps could be recorded after the fact. And we have April. These are some run stickers. and just prescription tracking, mood tracking, weather, to-do list. Uh, More of the same here. I kind of fell off from tracking my what I ate, or I didn't make special space for it on what I ate. I ended up just writing down, jotting in what I made or what was cooked or something like that. Here is no decor, but it's filled out. Sometimes I just need to get the information on the paper, right? This is a different mode of tracking. I'm still tracking. I was tracking my brain fog, how many times I was having brain fog. I'm in perimenopause, menopause, and it is doing a number. And I'm trying to get that under control. So I started tracking the brain fog and the mood and anxiety, weather, and then writing in what I ate and any medicine. Uh, this one, same deal. I was tracking if I had brain fog, mood, and anxiety. List of things I need to do. Writing in what I ate, and then I was sick this week. So yeah, that's that. I remember that very clearly. Um, I just kept it going, same deal, and just decorating using some stickers. Sometimes I would just use some washi and some highlighters, but the main thing was just to keep up with everything that I had going on. And this is the current week that we're finishing up. Um, I didn't go traditional 4th of July. Just don't feel too Independence Day theme, and that's okay. But tracking the weather, and I need to fill in some back things right here for the deck because I'm recording this on the 3rd. And that's how the front part of a planner worked out for me. I do track some things in the back. Let's see. I kind of move some things around. A lot of appointments happen, so I open this book and track what the doctor is saying. I have the body measurements on January 1st and what will happen on December 31st, where I showed up. My manifest pages, talk to me nice night when I need to hear myself say something the last time I need to fill these in as well. Then there's some pages. Now I did at the beginning of the year, I created these trackers and I did them for the entire year. And honestly, it was just became a little bit cumbersome for me. And so I'm trying to decide if I'm going to keep going. I think because I already decorated, I want to fill them out, but we'll see. This is going to wake me up to make sure I'm recording it. Vivid dreams. I'm a vivid dreamer, and sometimes dreams really hit me where I need to get up and write them down, and I'll write them in this section. Let's see. More notes from doctor's appointments, and I blanked out some pages there because I was like, I could use this. I didn't need that for that day, so I took a piece of tomoe paper from another journal or a planner and put it in here. So there's more space for me to write. Same with those pages. Um, Notes, this because this is so small and it can fit into a lot of places. I end up writing a lot of things because that's what's easy for me to access. Here's another page that I covered up so I can have more writing space to go out through the rest of the year. Gratitude, um, writing out different things there, but I track gratitude in multiple places. Information and yeah, just that kind of stuff. Appointments and things of that nature. Um, Questions I need to ask when I go to the doctor. Workout information when I want to work out. I just jot that in there, or want to. I pre-decorated them, so we'll see how that goes. I haven't done anything with them, and then I write down some notes about things. This is literally like my nail setup. Like this is my easy way to keep up with me doing my nails because I do my own nails, and that's how I utilize this weeks. And I have some stickers in the back to use when I need some stickers on the go. But that is my Hobonichi Weeks. So next up is I have this Moterm. I bought this probably I would say in February. I think I had it for a while, but I have had this since the beginning of the year. This is a Just Scribbles Pocket plans, and um, originally when I first got it, I wanted to. I My word of the year is expansion. So it was expanding everything, every basis in my life, and that's what I that was my take on what I wanted to do this year in all aspects. This didn't go as planned in the beginning, and then I kind of reeled myself back in while figuring out how I was going to utilize this book. When I initially started out, it was more like tracking different what would I say? It was tracking content and how I was showing up in my social media accounts, but I really didn't want to, I guess, have such an extensive process in the beginning of the year. So I made it more personable, but this information is in here, so I do reference these things and see how I was tracking and everything, but uh, that fell off. So I think that lasted through maybe the end of February, recording and posting videos. Now, while I have stepped up my content game, I had to do something different with it. But this, I was making notes, I was filling in, I was documenting where I was, and if I did anything, any promotions or anything like that, I would write that stuff in here. And I guess let's see, we're already in February. This is where it started to slow off. Like when I had an idea, I would write it down, but it became something else. Like I started jotting other notes. So I decorated. I used it. It just the purpose changed in the book, and which again, that is okay. It's no rules in this. So I was tracking what I was watching on TV. Back in March, I think this is March. Yeah, in March, I watched the whole show of Gilmore Girls, 7 seasons. I had never seen it. So I think when this came out, I was a mother of four, three and one on the way, young children, and I wasn't watching TV like that. I had all my children are 2 years apart, and there was no time for TV. So I watched 7 seasons starting in March. I think it took me like 3 weeks, but I really did like it and enjoy it. Um, Now what happened? This is where also where this changed. I whited out the dates and just started using the pages as note pages because this is portable. And I was like, I started watching Monique writes and how she was using her book, and I was like, sometimes I just need to have a place to write things, and that's what this became. Some place to jot down information, jot down different things. It's so portable. I can carry it around the house. If I'm in my bedroom or if I'm in my office, I can write down what I need to do, and that's what it became for this time frame. But again, I still used the planner, I just used it in a different format, which I think is great because I still continue to use the book. I just didn't use it as a daily planner. So coming up in April, I think it might be, no, it's not in April. I didn't start back using it. I was using it as a notebook. I was really writing down things and trying to keep a to-do list, scratch list, write list, reminders for me, stuff that I necessarily didn't want seen or shown. Like I wouldn't share it as a finished page in like on a social media post or anything. So I didn't worry about decorating also. So it was just like scratch notes. May, we got to May and still taking notes. I must not have started back in this until June. Okay, so that says the 15th, May 15th. That's when I started back using it. So I started using it in the middle of May, and this is where it became. the scratch list, like writing out the information I needed, and that's what I did there. I enjoyed it because it kept me on task. It kept me with what I wanted to do and how I wanted to make sure I got everything done. Calendars I use for maybe things I don't want to forget. And then here we go, and that's how I end up using this book. So, like I said, it's more of a to-do list. It is a full year, and so this is how this is looking, and we're in June. It's not thickening up too bad. These are really thin pages, and I'm not doing a whole bunch of stickering. I'm more of just writing. I did stick a vellum in that I wanted to use. Um, it didn't quite print the way I wanted to, or I cut it off when I put it in here. But it was just being intentional about my mindset and how I wanted to show up. So I do plan on continuing to use this for the rest of the year. I've already started in July because here we are, July 3rd. But I like that side of it, and I use my Kaweco Sport. It's this burgundy pen. I think it's a fine tip. Yeah, fine tip. I got this as a birthday present for my daughter, one of my daughters, and I like that because it's lightweight and it fits and it goes in there and easy to pull out. Now on this side, I did, if you recall, if you were watching or subscriber or watching my videos in January, I did have the techo, Hobonichi techo, and I've already placed the second half. This is the July December, and I want to, because I am being more intentional with my social media, I moved over into this book. Now these started off as the first half had prayers in it and everything, and I utilized something else with my for my prayers when I need it, or I'll put them in my actual journal. But this is now this is my content planner for the rest of the year. So this is July through December. Not going into that too much, but I use some stickers. These are, I think, stickers from Let It Be Known stickers. Um, Once More with Love. I'm not exactly sure where I got the sticker collector, and this is from the small shop I bought at Little Craft Fest. That's the same person that made this sticker over here as well. Know your worth, and then add text, and this big dream, stay focused, make it happen. So that is my Motrin. It is a double pocket. I like it. It's a little fat notebook. To me, it's the perfect thing to just have if you want to make sure you're writing notes or have on the go, grocery shopping or whatever. Let's move over to half of just Scribbles Volume 1. This is the horizontal plans, just plans by Just Scribble. I decorated the front, and this was how I decorated the inside. This is from the beginning of January with expansion word of the year. I didn't update the calendars, wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't do too much there, but I did fully jump into the goal setting, places I wanted to change and be intentional about my life and how could I measure it. And so that is something, that's the overarching goals that I've been working through this year. And quarterly I'm working on different aspects of it. It helps me stay on track. So quarter one, we started tracking every day. In January we did pretty good. In February we fell off. March we fell off. Never went back and did it, and I don't think I'm going to. It'll just be like that because I have no clue what happened there. Um, Rooting before reaching. I did some goals for January, and these are the same stickers. I mentioned before in other videos. This is a sticker, monthly stickers from Amazon. This is my journal where I do journaling prompts, and so I every month I create a list of journal prompts that I want to answer, and I'll usually stick them in or I'll have them in for some reference. So this is my January journal prompts, And so the first part of the each week, they're all uh, combined together. Words are losing my mind right now. Where each week has the dailies right behind it. So I really like that about just Scribbles. So you get the horizontal layout, and then you get a place where the Alistair method over here. And I've shown this before. And so basically, I would write down. I started writing my prompts, and then I'll leave this spot over here for anything daily. But I eventually moved on out of that and started just journaling the whole page. Sometimes I would do one or two prompts. Again, these are the completed spreads for the week, the horizontal week, and the tracking. And you can see how this year winds up because eventually the way I started in January is not how I ended in January. In June. You have to do what fits your life at that point. So even sometimes I would do the prompt, then I wanted to write about something else. I think that happened all the way through till I got the second just Scribbles A5. So uh, this is the weeks and using the stickers. And let me see, because I've done this, I've shown these several times on this channel. So, but I would do a lot of journaling, a lot of big letters, recapping the year, recapping the month, and then looking forward to the next month of what I want to do, how I want to approach it, um, getting my thoughts together, trying to come up with a plan. More of you get the monthly, and then you get a page where you can write out. So here, this week I recapped each week of that. I came back at the end of the month and put in a memory from that month, and basically that's how that went. More journal prompts, and so we're flipping through. Uh, this is the week of Valentine's Day. I really like the reds and the stickers. These are more let it be known stickers, beautiful stickers, and Valentine's Day means a lot to me, just because my marriage, the way my life, the history of my life. Me and my husband went on our first date. My husband and I went on our first date on Valentine's Day back in 1998. So I put those pages together, and we moved on over um, to the gnomes, the doodleberry stickers. Those, and I really liked how that is still in the pinks. Um, the month of February, my prompts were more centered around shadow work and trying to really get through uh, a hard month. So February was my mother's birthday month, and so I didn't know where I was going to be mentally. So I try to keep myself light, understand what I was processing, and naming what was going on with me. So I did a lot of deep thought, shadow work type prompts, and even some prayers. That's why I said prayers ended up showing up wherever I needed to write it. That's where it went at. February, more the last week in February, still writing those prompts. I did a lot of journaling because I needed that to just get those thoughts out of my head. This is the recap for February, and looking forward to March. I had some stickers and I went pink crazy. So basically, you could tell that was February. March is my birthday month, but it's also St. Patrick's Day, and that's the month March overview. These are my prompts that I used for the month of March, and they were more uh, spiritual, my relationship with God, and trying to understand my life and what. Again, I'm still working through. I'm still in like grief state, but trying to work towards improving and balancing everything in my life. So I recapped on these two pages the month. I would come back and write a recap of the month there. The first week in March, we had Care Bears and more, again, focusing on how I can improve and getting my thoughts together. These stickers are by Let It Be Known stickers, and these prompts really helped me kind of settle. I think I spent the first part of the year or the first quarter of the year doing a lot of running from myself. I didn't want to sit with my thoughts, and that's what happened in that situation. So that's where these prompts were extended. Um, I said it before. I do use ChatGPT to assist in writing my prompts, and it's a great starting point to get a more personalized journaling experience. Um, yeah, this is continuing, and then I'll write big events. We had a power outage and a tornado warning that day, and I was just writing, just pouring out my heart, just answering these questions, and just looking for a way to understand my life and understand what was happening, because this is all new to me, as far as not having any parents at all on Earth. So yeah, that's how this week went. We had some gummy bears. I think that was a continuation of this page. And this is what I meant when things started changing. I was just writing down what I needed to write down. I wasn't tracking. Um, Sometimes tracking can give me anxiety. Like, I do track in the digital aspect of certain things. I do that every day, but like, I don't know, something about doing a check mark or not getting it done that month makes me feel like I failed. So that's why I kind of pulled away from it. And again, that's another tip: recognizing what your triggers are. And one of the things that I noticed was triggering me was completing a habit tracker. So I do it in my health and wellness, as far as like the things, medication, vitamins, but things that I know I need, that I'm trying to work in to create as a habit, those are hard to come by. And this might be just from the place I am mentally, not necessarily anything that I can't revisit. But at that time, I couldn't finish doing it. I hope that makes sense. But that's what I discovered that going on during this time, is that I was not in the right mental space to keep tracking that type of stuff. Okay, and these are uh, more in depth. Um, the prompts. This is still March, and because this is March, right here, and I was just writing down the most important things. This is my birthday week as well, and this one was focused on scriptures. Right, this prompt was like, "What is one scripture truth I want to live by this month? What does that look like in real life?" And I had Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you. This is the Lord's declaration. And I know that I'm not in control. God is in control, and I'm a firm believer in that. Forgiveness was another topic. Temptation, um, God's time, not mine. Is what does um, I can do hard things with God means to you? And then how do I want my name to be mentioned in rooms? And so I wrote out these things. This way, I just started with something different to experiment with instead of actually journaling, and just taking myself. I find pleasure in sitting down and writing and getting those thoughts out, because sometimes the things that come across your mind you wouldn't dare say to somebody else, or let's say the things out loud. So my journal can say those words for me. This is the March recap, and this is the end of quarter 1 recap. And I just wrote some highlights and things that I was able to accomplish. Quarter 2, I had more of I wanted to be definite on what I was doing. I changed some things because I came into understanding that I was doing too much. It was just too much going on. I had to let some stuff go. Even though I wanted to still be in the mode of expansion, it was too much for me to take on, and it was daunting. So April, um, I wrote my prompts at the beginning of the month, and I, I utilized those pages when I was writing. So this is another part of the first 2 pages that I would come back and write in a recap. this is officially when I got my other planner, so I didn't have to do that any longer. So I had the pages set up, but I didn't write them in over there. The end of March going into April spread, and it's the greens. I really just like that spring color because we about to go into the flowers blooming and things like that. The prompts focused on more of what am I avoiding, what feels heavy, what am I, what am I dealing with, boundaries, and how am I handling things when I'm misunderstood. So those prompts were focused on me looking back on how I was dealing with things that had took place and how could I grow from them. So maturity, uh, what am I celebrating? Avoid what am I avoiding by staying busy? And that was a deep thought. Where do I still tie my worth? What I get done today? Those things help me slow down and be intentional about my time alignment. And here's another spread um, for the week of April. These are things I had to do. We were getting ready to go out of town, so it was just getting everything aligned and ready before we actually left. Um, Highlights and traveling, but I took my journal. I took this one with me. I didn't take the big one, and was able to keep writing my journal. I would stop and sit down every morning before I went to work or before we traveled or did anything and journal. And so this is the week of travel, and I didn't decorate the overall week, but I was able to write in information. I still journal. I just didn't decorate that page. Here's the 14th and the 15th, my version of myself and responsibility for my own growth. Being responsible, what does that look like for me? And where am I shrinking? Where am I have confidence? Those I'm journaling really helped keep me grounded this year so far. So I decorated this page, but not too much was written in here. It was a busy week. Little craft fest was this week. I had just got back um from California, so I didn't do a lot of decorating. I was making those bead charms, but I did do my journaling prompts. What drained me this week, and boundaries and understanding different things. Bible study and my emotional ties there. This one's pretty faint with the decorations, but I still put the necessary reminders and things like that. Um, Again, more prompts, being intentional about what I was writing, finishing out the month of April. Uh, just making sure I had a lot to say. Obviously, that was a lot of writing. Um, and just closing out the month of April going into May. So May was on a Friday. May 1st was on a Friday, and so I had prompts from there and recap of April and what I was looking forward to doing in May as far as goals. This is my monthly calendar, and these are the prompts for May. So over here, I just try to align myself to have kind of a schedule that I didn't have to write it down every week, but this is something I wanted to do weekly. So this is my journal prompts for May. I did two sets this month. It's the only month I did it, but these prompts were about breathing, resetting, and moving as one because my family we're still doing things that are related to us moving to Texas because of like the different couple emergencies we had when we got here. They kind of got delayed, so I wanted to make sure I wasn't being overwhelmed. So this is more of me being better and trying to focus for the month of May, and then these prompts were more personable to me, so I would answer two journal prompts every day. This is the first week of May. Right now, list of things. Now, this one is because either this is what I jotted down. I wasn't thinking. I just wrote. the 2 sets of prompts coming in, and sometimes the reason why I knew that I will only do this month because I felt like it was like too much to think about in the journaling session. Let's say like I take 15 to 20 minutes a day to write in my journal, and doing 2 sets was a lot. So I realized that going through it, I probably wouldn't do 2 sets again. This is the second week in May. I did like a newspaper theme with the chronicles of thoughts and how I was feeling. I like the setup there. Also experimented with taking the book apart and doing the Encanto thing, but I still stuck to my prompts. I still used the space to journal. I just wanted the theme going into that. So that was very colorful and it was very fun, and I enjoyed it. I might end up doing it again soon, but I didn't want to do too many of these because these pages add a lot of thickness to my planner. But it was nice, and I did enjoy it. Uh, Third week in May, we just doing a little chart about. This is where I was keeping track if I created any content, and what I was doing, and that's pretty much where that went before I got the new, the way I'm doing it now. Here's another highlight reel, a chronicle of thought. Um, I only did it in these two instances because it took a long time to draw the lines out and then have something to write about. I was like, oh, that's a lot, but it was fun. I did it. I might pick it up and do it once or twice in the second half. Then I made these images. These were made on ChatGPT. I just wanted something different. The stickers were also from ChatGPT. You just tell it the prompt and it'll create. I printed on sticker paper and it worked out good. So um, it's just journaling things and how to keep those little tidbits on tips on how to stay productive. Thought it was cute, but I was still writing my journal prompts in here about being grounded and staying focused and am I doing enough? And I just need to really feel uh, grounded because I just think I did too much in the first quarter. I was really just like tired and overwhelmed, and I was just taking on too much. So that's what that is about. This is the last week of May. I kind of set this up again, watching Monique over on Monique Wright. She did this in one of her Just Scribbles. And I was like, oh, I really liked how that looked. And it gave me a lot of opportunities to write down things I wouldn't necessarily consider writing down, more content ideas. But I just like how it looked overall. Videos and thoughts of what I was going to record and put out. Over here, we're back on the journaling, and we're still doing those 2 questions a month, 2 questions a day, and that's why this ends up being short. Like I just felt it was too much heavy mentally. Still journaling, and these are some of those spring stickers I received in the collab event that I had. I did during Vlogmas. That was cool. I got to use those stickers, and we're wrapping up the month of May, and here we are. Oh, one more May memories. I did it to kind of recap what I did that month and how I was going to approach June. No spin, essentials only. No spin on non-essentials, and that was something I had to remind myself because again, where I wasn't staying busy, I was doing a lot of shopping, doing a lot of buying, and that was just too much. So, turn the calendar here. I did this June list and I tipped it in this way. And I did it that way so when I was looking at my weeks, I would be able to see what my prompt was. So I was uh, trying to be quick thinking with it instead of writing them down by hand. Um, so this is like the things I wanted to focus on in June. And this is the things I didn't buy in June when I had the urge to buy. So I have a whole list of things I didn't buy. I'm really proud of myself. that I didn't get. Not saying I didn't go through the act of just put this in the cart, but or I would like to have this, and I walked away without doing it. I think I did pretty good. Probably saved tons of money. But so over here on the first week of June, uh, I'm documenting the things I needed for content creation. Then also anything I didn't want to forget, I need to have it in several places. So this is one of the places in land. Writing down brain dumps, to do list, and this week I did track these type of thing. The medicine, no spin medication, and this because I wasn't necessarily opening multiple planners during the month of June. Um, right when life, this is a point I found, and it's just when life hands you lemons. So I did a lemon thing this very first week. Very pretty. I posted this on social media, so you've probably seen this. What is something people have believed about me for the years that okay. Yeah, so this month's prompt was based on if my journal was found by my children, or not found because it wouldn't be lost necessarily, but if one of my kids found my planner, let's say 30 years from now, it was, or 20 years, whatever, in the future, if I'm not around, and what they want to know about me, or what I wanted them to know about me, and what I thought I answered these questions. I always feel like um, one of my friends, we were having a conversation, and she asked me, did your mother tell you how she handled her mother passing? And I realized she didn't come out. I didn't have those deep thought questions answered from her, and I wanted to take the time to have that information about me somewhere. So I know my journals will be kept, and because my kids already put claims to them. First of all, my husband put a claim to them, but if he's gone, my kids already claim my journals. They know I do it, and I just feel like these are letters to them. These questions that were asked this month were to answer some of the things they might not have known, because that just the type of questions that came up they would have had no clue to ask necessarily. Um, like for example, what part of my mother still lives in me every day, every single day, answering that type of question. Um, what memory of Flint shaped how I saw the world today? Flint is where I grew up. I am from Flint, Michigan. So those questions and answers just give a lot of insight. Here we go over here with the next week. Again, decorating, writing down things I wanted to keep track of, brain dumps, content ideas, and weekly wins. Because looking at Ray's videos, he always asks us to list wins. And I just wanted to start tracking my wins that week. More prompts on me becoming true to myself and giving those answers to my children, or to, if this book was read by somebody, what was Christy life and what was she thinking. um, I really enjoyed these journal prompts this month, and these are all stickers by Planner Vita. So Ray's shop, these are prompts saying what moment completely changed the direction of my life. I I had a son at 17, so that's how I have a 30-year-old right now. Um, more of those questions, these beautiful stickers, and I just think this spread is just absolutely gorgeous. More Plana Vita, and just writing out these answers. These are some really nice pages that just speaks to me. Second to this is Father's Day week. This was um a heavy week for me. I participated in the junk journal activity where I posted junk journal spreads every week, so that was going on. But it was also my father's anniversary, and then 2 days, 3 days later, Father's Day. So Also, this is my first Father's Day when my mother's not here. So, um, it was just a heavy week for me. Um, more journaling and springtime. These are run stickers, and then we have some more run. This is PET tape run. This is from E Star Case. I do have an affiliate link. Um, if you want to, would like to shop over there at E Star Case. But these are some very beautiful stickers, and I just really enjoy the spring look and summer look of these pages. The almost the last week of June, brain dump, list of stuff I need to do, reminders, tracking what we're eating, what we want to do, and then some important things I didn't want to forget. I didn't do a weekly recap here. Might come back, might not, because we're already into another book. But here we go. These beautiful, beautiful flowers. I think these are little plush stickers. I'm just about sure. And I just wanted to be bright and cheery. And so this is the very last week of June. Going into this week, I wrote the finish up those prompts, and then I stopped here because I wanted to officially move into July in the other book. I printed this vellum out, Finding Me Again. I really like that. It was really pretty. In the back, I was just writing down if I got a book suggestion for someone. I did ink test because this paper is kind of tricky. Uh, Honestly, you have to give it time to dry. So if your hand rubs, I mean, when I say time, I mean 2 or 3 minutes. But that is how we ended up there, and this book got pretty thick. So I'm going to move out of this one and put in my second volume today. And let's get to this last one. And we're already at like 40 minutes here. But so this is the full edition of 2026 plans. And I got this in March. So I didn't care that it started in 2026 at January, but she didn't. Siobhan didn't have it available till mid-February or in February. It was fine. I wanted it. I knew I wanted this color. I love this. That's why I put any stickers on it. This is so beautiful, and it matches perfectly with this. But this baby right here is already thick, and we have 6 months to go. So, but I love that. It's a lay flat. Like, it stays open no matter where you lay it at. Now, I told this story before, so if you are a frequent watcher, this something would sound like repeat. But I didn't fill any of this in, and I just because I had already established myself in the other journal planner, I didn't need to have all that filled in. I have time to come back and write. Also, it gives me extra space to write things. Sometimes I will write letters. Sometimes I write letters to myself. Sometimes I write a letter to my mom, but I will put it in here. Um, Sometimes I just need to read things that makes me change my mindset. So whatever I need these pages to do, I do them, and I feel I'll use that space, a pretty decorated page, to write in what I need. There's a recipe for one of my family's favorite bread recipes, and I put it in a place that I can remember, that I know I had it, or I wanted to have it documented. Um, More decorated pages. Again, just the opportunity to be able to write and fill in that stuff. That's what's most important. Just like I have something pretty, I can write it in when I want to have a thought, and that happens way more than I thought it would already. So let me move this to the back. Okay, I just decorated more letters. Yeah, letters to myself. Letter something I'm just want to write down how I'm feeling. I just use those pages to wherever they need. I think this is the first. Yeah, I was trying to hurry up and get to this part. This is when I first um, got the planner in the mail, and Yeah, I wrote a list of reminders, things I wanted when I need to have a little pick me up. I can read that. Uh, I made a mistake. This is the week of my birthday. I did the same thing last time I showed this to y'all. Um, I just did some stickers because I got this PET tape in from East Arcade, so I just wanted some decorations on the page. I didn't start journaling because I had like out of town guests and my brother and sister-in-law were here, so this is where I'll start memory keeping things I want to keep up with. And it was beginning of quarter two. We can go full thrive, like we were just trying to um just document things and just keep track of stuff. The month review, and then you get the 2 pages where you can fill anything in, and then you get the weekly view. And this is this week with overview, and then going into what happened those days, memory planning, memory keeping, writing down for the day what happened, things I want to forget, more weekly spreads. I really needed my vertical spreads back because I have been a vertical girly for years. And so going to horizontal was kind of different. Priorities, more memory keeping, the weekly spreads. I really just this this is the week we're in California, just writing down things, then memory keeping what we did each day. Um, that was fun. What we did in California. Um, Came back. It was my grandson's birthday, and the weekly spread, a little craft fest over here, and doing more journaling, how I felt, what was going on. I was busy, so I didn't do a lot of writing, or I was tired from being at little craft fest. Next week's spread, writing in things I need to remember, um, more journaling. And this is when I bought those really tiny .03 pens, and I was trying a new technique. It didn't stick. I mean, I can go back to it, but I don't see myself doing it a lot. um, so I was trying to hand. This is the monthly review for May. This is where I did the sticker, trying these different mediums. This kid Doodleberry, I just was filling in some boxes. I like the bright yellows. Writing out my weeks. Uh, More memory keeping and writing in the recipe, and just trying just to stay functional, writing my plans down, staying with the program, not losing focus on what I was trying to get done. More journaling and memory days, weekly spread, and then just just different things that took place. I am trying to speed up because we are pushing an hour, and that is a long video. Um, I just really enjoyed. This is my grandkids' promotion ceremony. I really enjoyed that. I took pictures, put that in there because this is a memory keeper. Trying to remember to add more pictures into the planner. This is the weekly view of May, and writing out again. Still in my mind, I needed to track, but I couldn't get with the program. Memorial Day, and just writing out memory, keeping of what was going on that day. Another recipe, using different color pens. I had some change in what it looked, but I'm still memory keeping. Uh, May recap, and looking forward to June. And here's the June overview. Uh, how I wanted to approach what I was doing each week. Again, I really set out with intention, and I use it for a reference. These are Scribble Print Co. It's this weekly spread. It's pink, and this page here, the Tale of Two Bags. I had did so much ordering in the month of May that I confused myself. So I got this bag, and it's a Snoopy tote bag in the mail with this pen. And I was so upset because this bag wasn't. I'm like, I didn't order this bag. I was supposed to get this corduroy bag, and they sent me the wrong bag. And I wrote up a letter and sent the complaint to the company. And I was just like, what happened? Y'all sent me the wrong pen and the wrong bag. What is going on? And 2 days later, this bag, this corduroy bag, and this green pen. Look at the similarity. This bag and this green pen, that corduroy bag and the green pen. 2 days later, it comes back. It comes in the mail, and so I had to eat crow and let them know that that was my mistake. I did order both of these bags, but at the moment, because I was buying so much stuff in the month of May, that I forgot I ordered this set. So yeah, I wrote the tale of two bags, or the tale of one customer who lost their mind. That was crazy. I had to admit when I'm wrong, and I wasn't rude in the email. I was just like, hey, I didn't get the right bag, and yeah, I lost my mind. So this is more of the reason why in the month of June I need to be on no spin. Um, more journal, keep more journaling, writing. Um, and I was not feeling good at the beginning, first week of June. I was sick again. Um, a lot of happy meals. Some this day I wrote in a morning thought and an evening thought just because um, I stopped it and I didn't write it down, so I finished off in the afternoon. Um, National Donut Day over here. I did not journal on the 7th. I put the pretty stickers, food stickers, but I didn't journal. This spread, this is beautiful. I really love this spread. These are the stickers I got from Round. It was I wanted to use these stickers. And this is so pretty to me. So just writing out my schedule. I didn't do the overview that week, but it was beautifully decorated. Okay, if I'm not finding anything joyful from this, it's just the stickers, and it's perfect. Um, Sometimes I backdate. If I don't get to do it, I'll write back what happened that day, but I have to do it immediately. Like it can't be about 4 or 5 days. It has to be within the next day or two if I am going to backdate uh, memory plan. Um, yeah, just lots. I was low energy. I had the grandkids over, and that could just tire me out. Here is the week of Father's Day and my father's anniversary. So this week I did a video on one of these days, but this is for the 7-day Gospel Junk Journal Challenge. And I don't mind using that in here because sometimes I don't have that much to really keep. So, so these are the pages of the Junk Journal Challenge. I really enjoyed doing these, and it was a time to do some junk journaling, and I may do a couple more in the second half of the year. I don't know, but I recorded a video like I said on that. This is um, next to the last week of June. And these are those coquette stickers that came out the book from Five Below, and I did some journaling, finishing up the whole theme of what would I want, someone to read about me and my thoughts. I did this spread after watching a documentary. I shared this on social media. I used some cokehead stickers, and then the documentary was Maternal Instinct, and I kind of just like conceptualized what was going on there. Um, I had a procedure done that day, and continued using those coquette stickers. I made a strawberry cream cheese pound cake this day. I might insert a picture here so you can see it. And I wrote how my day was going. Grandkids came over on this day, and instead of journaling, I just wrote down some of the things they said to us. Our grandkids keep us cracking up. So I took time to quote that out and then write about the rest of my weekend. This is my June recap and how the month went and what I'm looking forward to in season quarter two. Uh, no, quarter two recap. And then I have not uh, moved over any further in this book. I think I did set up July cover page. I put this in here. Tipped in some beautiful artwork I found on Pinterest, and this is the July month and the calendar. I think this is from Crafty Queen as a freebie that she had out there. So I did those pages, and I set up the weekly spread for the last part of June and the first week of July here. So I haven't done my prompts yet, and that is something I got to work on today. But yeah, that's this planner. So, in talking about what didn't work out so far in this year, this was my curiosity planner, and let's look in this. This is the B6 Vertical by Sterling Inc. It is the complete planner. It is a very nice planner, and it wasn't a matter of this failing me. It was more of that in that time that you just heard me talk about how much I was feeling overwhelmed and where I had to put a pause in it or understand where I was struggling to maintain the year. Um, you see, I was doing so. It was definitely a lot of writing in the very beginning. I was keeping up with it, and it was just like I was studying Spanish, and then I would write down if I looked up something, any information, what books I read. I got all the way to the end of March, and that's when I decided, okay, I'm doing too much. So I didn't continue in this planner. It is a nice planner, like I stated before. It's definitely the paper is good. The the it's really good. I don't have any complaints with the planner itself. It was just too much going on for me, and I had to realize where I need to stop. Now, I would like to pick this back up and get back into using it. This is a book club um, activity and books and what I was reading. I just, at this moment, I don't know when I'll pick it back up. It's a perfectly good planner, like I said, and this is what I will not continue at this point. It's a B6 vertical, but this is my planner collection. This is where I'm at the at mid year and how it's been working out for me. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, what planners are you still using that you started with in January? If you added or deleted any, let me know in the comments. But I do appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Um, and I hope to talk to you in the next one. Thank you.